Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's good to see all of you. I hope that you've enjoyed the content we've been putting out here lately. I know I haven't had my face on camera the last few times, but it's been a lot of fun just creating the videos, the how-tos on how to remove the cover on the A6X2, how to look at the SD card and how to use that, and also at the calendar and at the email function, which I don't really think's been covered a whole lot in a lot of other videos, because it is hard, especially if you're in that ecosystem, to have that front and center, and because you've already got all your private information and data on there. So I tried to do that in a way that was fun, but also didn't really show a whole lot of different things that could have been private. But what I want to talk about today is, we've been talking a lot about this device, the A6X2, and I wanted to take just a few minutes and talk about why I might think this is perhaps an almost perfect note-taking device, primarily because it's just intuitive, portable, easy to manage, and it's just a really fun device to use. And that is saying a lot from someone who's had the A5X for almost 3 years. So as we go through this video, take a minute, see what you think, see if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me. But before any of that, thank you so much for hanging out and watching the videos. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Please, if you haven't yet, the data shows me there are a lot of returning viewers, over 1,000. But I have about 275 subscribers. The more you can subscribe, the more you can like, the more that'll help me out and help us grow the channel. So if you are watching it, you watch it quite a bit, please like and subscribe. Without any more ado, here we go. All right, so why would I say that this is an almost perfect device for note-taking? That's a pretty bold statement, especially coming from someone who's owned an A5X for the last almost 3 years, and I absolutely love that device. But when it comes to the note-taking experience on this device, it's extremely well thought out. It's just a wonderful way to take notes and replace your paper tablets. So I want to go through 4 main reasons why I would say that. And the first one, believe it or not, is the retractable pen. I absolutely love this pen. It surprised me. I'm a huge fan of it. Most of you who saw me do the unboxing kind of thought, my first impressions were, well, it's plastic. It, isn't quite as slick as the Heart of Metal pen. And I own 3 of those. So obviously I'm in love with the Heart of Metal and I still use it quite a bit. But for everyday quick use, this is an extremely well thought out pen, or stylus, I guess it would be called, instead of a pen, but it really feels like a pen. The retractable nib is well done. It's lightweight, it feels good in the hand, and it just works. It works with the device. It keeps it so that you don't have to worry so much about possibly dropping it or having it feel heavy when you're doing a lot of writing and note-taking. So it's really important the way they've thought this through. Now again, that's not going to be for everyone, and I still love the Heart of Metal and I use it all the time, but this is, no one should be disappointed if they don't spend the extra money for the Heart of Metal and they just want a very functional and well-designed stylus. So that's the first thing. Second, again, something that surprised me was the Feel Right 2 screen. When I first unboxed this, and most of you saw me write on it, it felt really grippy, and I addressed this a little bit in the first impressions after I'd used it for just a little while, and it was a pressure issue. I was applying too much pressure to the screen and it was causing it to fit and start. But first I was really writing fairly hard, and it does, it sticks a little bit when you do that. However, once you get used to the feel of this, it writes extremely well. A test writing sample. Now I am having to put almost no pressure on this, which is really awesome. I didn't realize how much pressure I may even have been putting on the A5X until I used this for 2 weeks. And it's amazing the difference in how I write and how less hand fatigue I get from the way that I'm taking my notes. Because it really is just that simple, and it almost feels like writing on a pad of paper. I know there's some debate about that, but to me it feels like you've got a full pad of paper under you and that's how you're writing. It was completely out of the blue that that was going to be what I would think was so successful. Another really fun and probably one of the coolest things to me is the dual sliders. And again, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about those. I thought they would be cool, but the undo and redo gestures are amazing. I mean, that is so fast, so functional. Before that, I was always having to go over here and go to the undo redo, which isn't bad at all. It's right there on the menu. But if I had this collapsed so that I'd have more surface area, I would have to re-enlarge it and go. Now, I just undo, redo, and redo. And there it is. It's that fast. It is super cool. And it's just something that just makes it so much easier when you're in your quick meeting, you're jotting down notes. You don't want to have to take time to think through, am I doing this correctly? Am I, popping through menus while I'm trying to also listen and capture what's being said? The dual sliders are just great. They're intuitive. And then, of course, you've still got your quick access over here and all of your apps. It's just an amazing way to do things. The dual sliders also have another function, or at least the second slider if you're right-handed on this side, and I would assume if you're left-handed on this side. Being able to not have to choose between the lasso erase and selection tool is another game-changing item. Now I don't have to worry about whether I want to use either one of those. I can use them both. I don't have to have a special button on my stylus. I don't have to have the back end magnet to be able to erase. All I have to do is use my hands in the right order in the right place. So if I want to erase something, 2 fingers on here, gone. Now I can also undo that. So there it is. It's right back. If I want to use the selection tool, 2 fingers, touch. Now I can move that text around. I can turn it into a keyword. I can turn it into a link. I can do all of my functions right there. I can undo and I'm back to there. So those 2 gestures alone, again, allow me to keep this from being maximized. So it increases the amount of space you have. It's really an awesome feature. And it's amazing. And in a lot of ways, you don't have to lasso either to erase. You can actually scribble. And I know that's something on the books that you hear talked about quite a bit. I think it's one of the books devices where they have that scribble feature and you can scribble out. Well, you can do that with the 2 fingers too. And again, bring it right back. So it's just so functional. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is portability. My A5X is by no means too big to carry. Just for comparisons, this is the size of the A5X and the A6X2. And I'm not quite going to get the A5X on the whole screen. But there's a big enough difference, and there's my heart of metal pen, that you can see that, yes, this is a heavier device. You do have to take it around with you, usually in a bag, but I carry it sometimes just from meeting to meeting, especially if I'm in the same building. But it doesn't beat this little device for portability. And I don't think anything's going to for that reason and that function. And again, you've got the case, it opens right up and it comes right back awake. But the main thing about the portability issue is I find myself reaching for this. I'll have both of these in my bag while I'm in class or while I'm in a meeting. And instead of reaching, grabbing the A5X, which works software wise almost identically, this has a little bit faster processor and a little bit more RAM, but it works the same. But instead of reaching for my A5X, if I'm just taking notes, now again, this is in the context of just taking notes, this is a phenomenal tool. And I think that you really can't beat it. All right. Well, thank you all for watching so much. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your day to spend with me. Please, again, like and subscribe. It'll help the channel tremendously. And I can't say enough how important it is that you've been very supportive as we've gone through this process. Please, as well, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm off base. Let me know if you think that I'm right. As you can tell, I've really grown to enjoy this device as a note taker. We'll do a couple more videos on how it acts as an e-reader, how it is in the academic context. Please feel free to check out my blog. I've outlined some of this there as well. But for now, we'll just keep on plugging away. And please like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and I will see you soon. Thank you.